L'chaim.
Hi.
L'chaim.
Hi.
I don't know what that means.
I could ask the Kansas City bestie. I'm not sure.
She'd probably know.
She would 100% know. That isn't like cheers or something, I think. Or like
Sweet.
good job. I don't know. Anyways.
I think so. I mean, I've always heard in positive things. Hi.
We're back.
Sup?
We're back.
Crawling through the TV and everything.
Yeah.
Do TVs even have that static screen anymore?
I think like sometimes maybe. Like if something's like unplugged, maybe. Before you put in your HDMIs and your stuffs and your whatever else is.
I think they just go have they're just like, I'm looking for an input.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know why HD monitors look like this, but
yeah, that's just
I'm a smart TV. Where's your input?
Looks like it.
Yeah. The remake of Poltergeist. They're here. It's just that floating screen. Oh, that's what it'd be. It'd be like the floating box that bounces around.
Yeah.
And then when it finally hits the corner, that's when the demon comes out.
Yeah, it's like no
But it
signal.
takes like 5 hours.
Yeah. Are you still watching? Ryan, are you still watching?
That's what it is. It's Netflix. Are you still watching? If you hit yes, that's when the demon comes through.
Let me binge. Just let me binge watch, okay? I binge watched a lot of stuff over the last couple of weeks. So.
How
have you been? Happy New Year. I haven't seen you.
Happy New Year. Yes, last week I was having a mental crisis. I just didn't want to do anything. So,
hey man, that's okay. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to jabber about random shiz. That's all.
Life's good.
And I'm glad you're back. It's good to see you.
Thanks.
All, you know.
E2.
Yes. Oh, thanks.
Yeah,
I'm like E2. I'm thinking like I'm thinking of E3, the video game thing. E3. I was like, did that happen? Should I know about these things? What?
That E3, I believe, happens around June. If they do it this year, I guess we'll find out. So
yeah, I don't know. Anyways,
CES, which is like the electronics thing,
consumer electronic something
convention, something.
Consumer electronics. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's consumer electronics. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds right. Okay. I saw like a quick headline that it's going virtual this year. So
I should know this. I live with somebody that like watches them religiously. So
because it's getting that future Christmas list ready is what that.
Add to list. Mm-hmm. Add to list.
Mm-hmm.
Highest.
We'll do that one.
Take the notes. Yeah, I actually did because my birthday's coming up not really. We'll see what's today. Oh, it's the 10th. So my birthday is 2 months from today. And I actually had a couple things I wanted on my list. I'm usually like, I put my random, this is what I'd like to have. But then I actually have a couple things on my list.
Nice.
We'll see. It has nothing to do with video games. Sorry, Headless. Anyways, but he takes care of that. And Shortround picks up the slack because they've been playing a lot of video games. Over the last, there's a cat on my table behind me. That's cool.
That's okay.
Just sit there and be normal.
The new addition to the family. He's gotten a little bit bigger.
Yeah, Christmas. Yeah, actually, and Shortround actually adjusted his name. So now it's not Christmas Drew. It's Christmas Tree Drew. And Tree Drew is like hyphenated middle name. So
someone with a hyphen middle name or hyphen name, it's just going to mess him up for the rest of his life.
I mean, you're one to talk. But
my middle name is Tree-Drew. That is tree like the tree and Drew like the Carrie.
Yes. And
which is fairly close to how I actually tell people my name. So.
Still excuse me. Still the Chris. Still goes by Chris.
Chris. Yeah.
Because of course if you're gonna call someone Christmas, it's gotta be Chris, right?
Yeah. Unless you're Terry Crews from the Expendables series. No. Not Terry Crews, Jason Statham. His name is Christmas.
Really?
I think so.
That's cool. Okay, I haven't seen those. Good to know.
I'm Chuck Chelios, and I'm your cat.
You have a name. That would be weird if actually he talked and it was Jason Statham's voice.
That'd be like that would be kind of cool in a way. One talking cat.
Yeah.
That would help so many issues with cat. We're about to start giving Ash anxiety meds because he keeps talking all the time. It's just like his daddy.
You're crazy.
But yeah, it'd be like nice. Like, are you hungry or just being a dick? Oh, I'm just being a dick. Okay, I gotta hear that.
Or is that you or Ash that you're talking to? Is that
Both.
Kristen? Oh, okay. I was like, is that Kristen asking you if you're hungry or being a dick? Anyways,
it's like the Snickers commercial. But,
God.
Yeah, it's like a modern day Snickers commercial. Yeah. She throws it at me.
Yeah. Hungry? So, yeah. Try this, asshole.
You're not acting like yourself. Okay, now you're pseudo like yourself.
You're just like walking around as like a giant phallus. You're being a dick. Try this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like that scene in what is the movie with Christian Slater? Pump Up the Volume. They're carrying a giant phallic symbol across the screen to. Yeah. I forget where they put it. Later on, it got edited as a picnic table. That's like, not what that was.
That's not even what they were holding. Yeah, it's like that's like in Wayne's World when Benjamin is pralines and dick, but then in the he's Jamocha almond jerk for television viewing.
Speaking of that, there was we watched Shaun of the Dead again recently, and like in the outtakes, or not the outtakes, but extra scenes, there was the edited version. So it's the scene where Simon Pegg and Nick Frost are downstairs partying like till 4 o'clock in the morning. And the third roommate comes down. And usually they're saying, you're being fucking loud. You're being fucking this. But in this version, they're all saying funky. You're being funking and funking. And it's just like, all right, it's, the edit for TV, but,
fine.
At least it's the actors saying it in the lines and not just you're being a funking idiot.
Yeah, so. Right. Yeah. Some like random 4-year-old saying the line or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have gone through a lot of things over the last couple of weeks. So we should talk about them.
If you insist.
So I'll just start real quick because I saw Wonder Woman and
I did this
over there. Oh my. You no, I watched the first one. I haven't seen Wonder Woman 84. Yeah, I saw the first one for the first time, and you actually saw 84. We liked it pretty well. It was pretty neat. It was, I don't know. It was good. And I definitely wanted to see 84. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews on that one. What do you think? Spoiler free.
84 is entertaining.
Yeah.
The first one is a better story.
It's shiny. Look how shiny it is. It looks like something shiny. I'd be into, man.
The highlight for me about Wonder Woman 84 is Kristen Wiig.
Okay.
She's pretty much a highlight for me at any time. But, I mean, it's just, you're used to Kristen Wiig being silly, or like in Bridesmaids, she was very normal but had silly tendencies and whatnot. But in this, you kind of get essence of that, but you kind of see the progression of her turning into a kind of a darker character, and she pulls it off, and it just looks great.
I saw this meme, and it was from Wonder Woman 84, and it said, "Barbara, what did you do?" And it's her with the little hand from Saturday Night Live, where she has cheetah paint on.
That's funny. That's great.
Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
So yeah, the first Wonder Woman is great because it's just good action, good storytelling, good action, whatnot, a good blend of everything. You're figuring out who this character is. She's seeing the world as it is. The setting of it's World War II. Yeah, World War II. Or is it one?
One.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Is just not awesome, but just a cool setting to have the no man's land scene. It's so damn good. Because she's just ripping and roaring and leading the charge, and we could get behind that and take down these schmucks. So, but WWE 84, catch it while it's free. If you have HBO Max, catch it while it's free. I think it's up there till January 24th.
Okay.
But like I said, I thought it was entertaining. I am very much a geek. I could be like, well, this character is actually like this in the comics, left and right all day. But I just kind of put that aside. I was also shocked that I didn't realize Pedro Pascal was in WWE 84. He plays Max Lord, the main bad guy.
He's like the main bad guy, right?
I didn't recognize him because he's a lot whiter in that hair he's got. The very much
WHITER.
Yeah,
or WIDER.
I'm used to seeing him with a hint of tan. He didn't have that. He had this 80s, as he should, the 80s CEO type clean cut,
Yeah.
but
Also greasy and like
not
scumbally.
really greasy.
No?
No grease. Yeah. So
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, right.
he didn't look like him. I'm like, that's
Okay.
why he shocked me. I said, oh, Pedro's in this. Awesome.
I'm excited to see it. It'll be good.
Yeah. Entertaining, but I mean, and a friend and coworker and I at worked up like, yeah, we both really liked it. We kind of just wanted to see more of the cheetah, actual Kristen Wiig in the cheetah type role. You see a little bit of her action side, but when she's full out cheetah, there's maybe like 5 minutes worth, which is a cool fight. I just, I want to see more of that. So
yeah.
But apparently the director had a lot of
fun. You wanted to see a cat fight?
I did.
Yeah,
Go
sure.
on, ladies. Defend me. But apparently the director had a lot of back and forth with the studio, so who knows what would have happened.
Yeah.
I mean, majority of the movies we get these days, who knows what would have happened if the studio hadn't butted in, because sometimes the studio just doesn't know shit other than, I think we can make some money if we do this.
Right.
Or we can sell more action figures if we do this.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, why don't we just stick to the story that was good beforehand? But anyway.
Yeah. I tried to get Shortround to watch Wonder Woman. And she's like, Mom, I like the action figures. I don't like the movies. I'm like, you haven't seen the movies. How would you know? But for her fifth birthday, it was like a DC superheroes party. And so like all of our friends came to like the pizza place and were dressed up as superhero character. Like everybody did. We all did. And she was a little Wonder Woman. She was a perfect little Wonder Woman. Nice. It's great. I'll have to show you pictures.
If you might try, because they're on HBO Max now, the animated series. I think Justice League animated is on in there.
Okay.
If she likes the superheroes, try that, because
we got to get her in somehow, right?
Yeah. Like, it's weird because it's mature content because, they're fighting evil, but no one's going to die. There's not blood or anything like that, really.
Yeah.
It's
as long as it isn't the Harley Quinn show.
Yeah. You may want to wait on that one if you do.
Oh my gosh. I was like, I couldn't even. I watched like 3 episodes and I was like, okay, that's how that happens. Cool. Good times.
Yeah.
Anyways.
That's for the adults.
So, per your recommendation, I did check out Anna and the Apocalypse, which I thought was fun. It was good. It was it's sad because because everyone's like dying and becoming zombies, but but all I have to say is that Principal had it coming.
Yeah, oh God.
I wanted to punch him in the face because you could just tell he was like a little off the entire show, and then he's like, oh, by the way, here's zombies, have a feast, and had them chase after all the people that were
the first
still
scene
alive.
You see him and you're going to be one that's not going to be a zombie, but you're going to go crazy. You're going to be the guy that everyone thinks, let's just take him out to begin with so we can survive this. But
yeah. But it was fun. It was fast paced. It didn't seem like it was like an hour and a half or so. It kind of blinked and I'm like, okay, and we're done. And
it's
then
a musical, but you kind of forget it's a musical because it's just kind of an in and out. But the music's funny.
Jump scare at the end.
Yeah.
Which actually didn't scare me. I was pretty proud. I can still picture it in my mind if I close my eyes. But
I'm trying to think. I can't remember.
When at the end the little sign says Merry Christmas, and then when the Merry Christmas sign moves, it's like the zombie Santa guy jumps into the screen. Okay. Remember?
Oh,
yeah. But so it's like, if High School Musical had a Christmas special with zombies and it was in England, yeah, exactly.
British humor.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
Yeah, it was really good. I liked it.
Yeah, I think I like Shaun of the Dead, but singing.
Yeah, with high school kids. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was good. No, it was fun.
Fun and entertaining. Well, good. Yeah, I sent that out. I sent that text to you and my nieces and nephews. Check this out.
Yeah.
And two of my nieces oh yeah, okay, yeah, definitely. So.
Yeah, I watched it. I was a little after our last episode, I was a little under the weather during the episode, right? And then I got full blown super uber sick right after that over the next couple of days, and so I just not binge watched, but I just watched a bunch of random things just because.
Was it the COVID?
I thought it was. It was not.
Okay.
It was another ailment type thing, and I don't exactly know what happened, but I got an antibiotic from one of my doctors, and I'm better, I guess.
The wife and I on Christmas Day, we both woke up with a headache that stuck with us for 3 days. PB got a sinus infection around the same time and was like, he thought he was wondering if it was COVID because, that's kind of what everyone wonders. But
right.
He got tested and no, it was just a sinus infection. So yeah.
Yeah, they didn't say what mine was, but it was really bad because I didn't have loss of taste or smell, but I had every other symptom basically, like achy and fatigue and the other fun stuff to do with
things.
Yes, exactly. So
that's what.
That's a fun way to start the new year off.
Yeah, the whole pandemic situation is horrible. It sucks, but it's talk about like doubting yourself and everything. Like, I'm not a doctor, but over the past few years, I've kind of figured out, okay, if this is happening to me or the missus, I think it's sinus or it's allergy.
Right.
This year, it's just like, crank up the humidifiers.
Am I dying a slow, painful death? Yeah. Am I like drowning myself in my lungs, or is it just a little bit of allergies?
Is there a 30th one I'm allergic to now? So fun stuff.
So tell me about. All right, so you caught up on Dresden. You're good to go with him.
I am, yeah. So if June Butcher
Nemesis
writes another book, Nemesis Games. So I'm Butcher.
Go back. You're fine. Go ahead. Okay.
So I kind of went out of order. I did the series, 1 through 17, and then I went back and did like the side stories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Finished up side stories and briefcases, and I'm now officially caught up on the Dresden series. I don't think he's done. I'm just caught up. So next time he releases one, I'm there.
Ready to go. Yeah.
The longest running series I have read. I physically read up through book 10, and then 11 through 17 I did via Audible. So
yeah, I got an email that said if I joined Audible for 30 days or something like that, like to give it a try, that it was like 2 free books, and I was like, I could listen to some books maybe. I'm not sure if I'm gonna try it, but we'll see.
So, I enjoy it. So,
and then Nemesis Games. Sorry, Headless. I know you popped up the thing. But there you go. Okay, so what's this
on
about?
the ball? So Nemesis
one
Games,
of us has to be.
Yeah. One off camera. That's how we do this.
Good job. Thanks. Thanks.
So this is part of the Expanse series. And the Expanse, I first heard about it because it was a show that popped up on Sci-Fi Channel and ran for a few seasons. It is now on Amazon Prime. And that's where I was like, and so last Christmas, I was at
a year ago, not a few days ago.
Yeah, 2019 Christmas.
Okay. The good old days.
When you could travel.
Oh, man, I know. It's almost been a year since we went to Hawaii, too. Anyways.
Oh, man, yeah.
Last year for Christmas, 2019. Go ahead. I apologize.
That's okay. We were at the wife's sister's house. Mm-hmm. And so I called them her niece. I call her my niece-in-law. And then her husband's like, have you seen The Expanse? I'm like, no, I haven't. And it's like, well, it's a book series. They have a TV show. And so we watched a few episodes. I'm like, oh, yeah, this is pretty good. I dig this. It's in space, which I kind of dig. And so I kind of got into the series. I'll watch season 1 of it. And then since I had Audible and I had a few books, I was like, well, let me try the actual books.
Okay.
I haven't been watching the TV series because I've been more interested in the books. The series is good. I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
You got Thomas Jane in there, who's always great to watch.
Punisher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like a highlight. The PB is watching the TV series because Thomas Jane pops up, and I told him about it. But to put it very briefly, and The Expanse is, I consider it a realistic future of humanity because humanity is now on Earth. They've populated Mars, and they've also populated what they call the belt, and that's like around Jupiter and whatnot. And even though they're all humans, they're at war with each other because, the people who went to Mars are like, we're going to focus on terraforming Mars so that we can have another planet. But the people on Earth are like, well, you need to be sending us the resources from Mars because, that's what we do. And then the people in the belt who work out in the belts, they're getting screwed over because they don't have a planet and all that other types of fun stuff.
Yeah.
But it deals with the fact that if you grow up in the belt, space does weird things to the human body. This is fact.
Yeah.
So their bones are a little bit more hollow. They're all a little bit more elongated. They speak with their hands a lot more because half the time they're out in a spacesuit and they can't see visualization. So they kind of came up with hand gestures as a way of communicating and stuff like that.
Got it.
So, it's political, it's sci-fi, and there's also an element of this thing called the proto-molecule, which is this alien virus, which I'm trying to think of this. The proto-molecule, which is an alien virus, which also becomes another player in this world.
They're like a character. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
interesting.
So, Nemesis Game is book 5 of the series.
And you've read all the other ones?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
I've done all. These are all through Audible. I've really enjoyed it. I do plan on watching this series again, but it's just one of those, the TV series, I should say. But for right now, I'm like, I enjoyed the books a little bit more because books give more detail, and the series is fairly true to the books, but there are a few divergence here and there. But
cool. Awesome. That sounds like fun.
Been enjoying that. Yeah.
It just makes me want to read. Like when you talk all about like reading books, makes me want to read books.
Never thought I'd hear anyone say that about me.
That's okay. I mean, like you're obviously enjoying it. And the only thing that I'm really working on is like at the end of my little list of what you're reading, listening to, and watching. It says Shortround and Mom's new artistic endeavors. So at the end of the year, like right before New Year's, I gave Shortround this book and I actually bought 2 copies of it. And it's called My Year of Art. And you do these little random art prompts every day. And we haven't been like on the ball as much as we need to be. But it's been really fun just because we get to do it together and then we get to be creative together. So that's like the one book I'm sort of trying to work through. But Shortround's like, I don't want, like during school, she's like, I don't have time. I have to do school. And then like after school, she's like, I'm not in school. I don't want to do it.
Yeah. I'm the same way and I'm almost 40. So.
Now you know. You are almost 40. You're like in the downhill. And you know what? It's in May and I know that because you've pounded it into my brain 700 times and I finally figured it out the last time.
Yeah.
The mnemonic device, AB.
4 or 5. Yeah.
Yep. That's right. Cool. That's exciting.
So let's see what else we got on here.
You have Drain the Oceans. You have Office. And then I've got a bunch of rando Netflix stuff. We'll end with Cobra.
Okay, yeah.
Cobra Kai.
What? All right, Jackbox 7. What is that? Is that the game?
Yes, we are really into like the Jackbox games, and now Shortround's getting old enough to where she can actually compete and play with us pretty well.
Right.
And so Jackbox Party Pack 7 came out pretty recently, and it's Talking Points. That's the one that has like the little arrow things. And you basically at the beginning of the game, everyone comes up with these prompts of like the speech you can make. And then you pick the prompts that people come up with and there's like visual aids and you have an assistant. And so your assistant picture like pictures you have to explain in your speech and stuff. It's fun.
Nice.
And then there is one called Champed Up and you draw these figures that basically like box each other. It's very weird. We've only played it a couple of times and it was not our favorite. and then Quiplash 3, Quip. Do you know Quiplash?
I believe so. I think I've played that.
It's where you basically split the room and two people get the same prompt and then like whoever's in the room votes on what they like the best, answer for or whatever. And that's just the third kind of conglomeration of that type of, because it's been a very popular game through the Jackbox series. And there's Blather Round, and this is one that we've really enjoyed. And this is where you get a topic, you get a prompt, and there's 3 at the beginning, and it's like, let's say X-Men or Washington, D.C. or, the Eiffel Tower or something, and you have to pick it. And then you start with this very like random sentence, and like let's say you pick the Eiffel Tower, and your sentence is, "This is a foreign object, place," or something, So you start off with that, and then people start guessing. And then once people start guessing, you use their guesses to kind of enhance the question. You have like 2 minutes. And that's been really fun too, to kind of figure it out. And then our favorite is called The Devils and the Details. And it's this little cartoon where you're a family of devils and you're basically brought up from hell and you have to engage in the human society. So you get into this house and you have to do these like
horrible.
It's awesome. And you have to do these human chores to like get it's like a weekly prompt thing. Basically, like one of them was you were in a family band. And so you have to do these things that are in these like challenge tasks. You do all these things together, but you have to do these human things and act like you're a part of human society to basically like win the game. So we've had a blast doing that. And so like if it's just me, Headless, and Shortround doing it, like sometimes Shortround would be the mom. Sometimes there's like a kid. There's always a parent, a teenager, and a child character. So if you have more players, like you can have like 2 parents or 2 kids or 2 teenagers or whatever. And like the certain people have certain tasks they have to do throughout the week. So
I think it's always best for it to mix, like, Shortround should be the parent because she's not, and you should be the child. It's like,
yeah, and so it's like different things, and it's just random. I'm getting all excited. My voice is getting all cracked. It's so fun.
We're gonna play a game.
And so we're having a lot of fun with it. It's been really cool. Yeah.
Very cool.
There you go. Blah, blah, blah. So,
Rock on.
I binge watched Never Have I Ever, the first season.
That's good.
You told me to watch it. I did. And I was like, I watched the first couple episodes and I was like, oh, geez, here we go. And then we finished it yesterday.
It's one of those, like, I can't relate to any of them because I'm, 1, not that age anymore. 2, I'm not female and all this other stuff. But it's all... The kids, it's really well because it's Mindy Crate. I'm going to mess up her name again.
Kaling. Uh-huh.
Yeah. If you knew from The Office or the Mindy Project. Yeah. But yeah, I liked it. I'm looking forward to another season because it's just silly, dumb fun. And the adults.
It has heart, though. It has really good
it has really good heart. I mean, and the adults and like her therapist. I'm like, I love her so much.
Niecy Nash. She's great.
She's just so straightforward. It's like, no, that's dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, we really enjoyed it, and poor Headless. Like we watched a couple of episodes, and then I was just like, I'm just gonna keep binging this, and then we ended up watching like the last 3 episodes last night, and of course, you knew McEnroe had to show up like at some point.
Yeah, that was funny as hell.
I wasn't sure like how he was gonna be incorporated, but I love that he's the narrator because that was just the short thing that was her dad's favorite sports star, basically.
Player,
Yeah, and so he's the narrator. And then like in the first 5 seconds of the first episode, you find out that Debbie's dad passed away. Anyways, but that's how the show starts.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
anyways, but McEnroe really at the end of the
watch it. Yeah, you got McEnroe, and then when they have the guest narrator, is it Zach Brown?
Andy Samberg.
Andy Samberg.
Andy Samberg when it's Ben Gross's episode.
Yeah.
You kind of like finally feel bad for him because he's kind of a D. But then you sort of understand why. Because he's like a latchkey kid for the most part, but like a super rich latchkey kid. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't expecting the season to end the way it did. But definitely I was like, okay, well, we need to have a little bit of resolution. Like it could have ended that way and that's fine. But
what's going on?
It was good. So anyway.
Good fun. Yay.
And speaking of Mindy type things, you've been checking back out with The Office?
The Office UK. So Mindy's not involved in this one.
All right.
This was the first Office. Let me do this and get my hands the right way. The first Office. Now that anyone can be president, I'm working on my presidential handshakes.
There you go.
The first Office of the UK. It is on Hulu, and we were looking for something just to kind of fill in because, we were watching The Office again just because it's dumb, fun, mindlessness, but it's moved over to Peacock and we don't want to do another streaming service at the moment.
Yeah.
So we're like, hey, let's try this and see what it's like. It's very interesting because you're looking at like we're still listening to Office Ladies with Jen Fisher and Angela
Kinsey.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's in Never Have I Ever. Yeah.
That was like, oh, hey, it's you playing someone not at all like you were playing.
Right.
But and they mentioned that first episode, how the first episode of the US Office is kind of similar to the Office UK.
Right.
But it's interesting seeing the parallels between the characters because, like, Ricky Gervais is the boss.
Thank you. I could not think of his name. I know you'd say it. And I was like, what is his name? I can't think of it.
So you see kind of the stuff where Michael Scott comes from, but Michael Scott is much more.
He's what? You kind of like cut it. You're like, he's much more around. Oh, likable. Okay.
Likeable,
I was like, what? I heard something blankable. I was like, he's more whatable?
Is just cringy. Okay. I mean, there's a lot of cringe moments in the episode.
Got it.
I'm going to try to pull up IMDb so I can get some other names.
No
but you have Martin Freeman,
you can talk. I'll look.
Right here.
That guy.
Martin Freeman, who plays Tim, who is the Jim. Or Jim is the Tim of the U.S. And you kind of
Jim is the Tim. Okay.
But it's Martin Freeman. I'm like, this dude's been in everything. He was in The Hobbit. He was in the first season of Fargo. He's in Black Panther. Then I realized he was in Allergies in the House. If you watched that.
Done a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And then also Dawn, who Pam is based off of.
Mackenzie Crook or Lucy.
I think Mackenzie Crook, I believe. I was looking at her. I'm like, why does she look familiar? You saw her recently. She was in Wonder Woman. She was
Lucy Davis, Dawn Tinsley. Got it.
Yes.
Sorry. Okay.
She was also in Shaun of the Dead as a character. And yesterday we were watching the second to last episode, and she's like, she looks a lot like Sabrina's aunt. I was like, she is Sabrina's aunt.
Okay, fair enough.
So, and then the actor I'm looking for, it's the Dwight. It's who Dwight's based off of, and I can't.
Is it Gareth?
Gareth, yes.
Okay, so that's Mackenzie Crook. Sorry, I spoke wrong because I thought that was a girl.
Yeah, Mackenzie Gareth. You would know him from the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. He's the one that doesn't have. He's got the wooden eye. The pirate with the wooden eye. Yeah, you've got that.
It's funny you mentioned that.
So, but it's interesting, and I've said this 1,000 times. It's interesting, just the parallels. Like, that's very similar, but this is so much more uncomfortable at times.
That's what you do when it's the UK version, right?
But it was great, and like the wife is just shot because the theme song they use for the show. She's like, this is not the kind of theme song I would expect for this kind of show because this is the theme song for like Family Matters or something like that, like that sort of. But it's been really entertaining to watch. It is its whole other show. I highly recommend it, especially if you like British comedy. It is awkward. There's so much awkward stuff in it. I remember my brother telling me years ago, it's like Gervais's character is just so much more awkward than Steve Carell's character.
Got it.
But and the same with Gareth. I mean, you can see parallels between, like, Dwight is always talking about how he's a part of a volunteer sheriff's department. Gareth was with the army, the local army, which is something in the UK, I guess.
Okay, fair enough.
But it's fun to watch. I recommend it because it's very different. So
thanks.
But Kristen's like, I'm not sure. I think I like the US version more, but I think it's because I've seen it more. I personally think it's because while Steve Carell is very awkward in The Office, he's also very lovable.
Yeah, it works
because the first few episodes, he's kind of just very awkward, but then you see the human side of him eventually and whatnot, and so you don't really see that with Gervais.
He's just kind of a D. Yeah, fair enough.
But it's fun. Check it out. It's cool. Watch it 1 or 2 episodes. You're like, oh, that's. But for instance, like just the things you can see when the Jim look at the camera. Tim does that a lot too.
Like, right. Yeah.
So
okay, let's Jim look at the camera now. Ready? 1, 2, 3. That was pretty good.
There we go.
Oh man. All right.
So
go ahead.
You've got the Never Have I Ever and Sex in the City.
I started Sex in the City again because it's just like redonkulously like a guilty pleasure television show for me. And I've seen it before. It's HBO because it was HBO show, so it's HBO Max. And that guarantees we won't get rid of HBO Max for at least a couple of months or so because it's greatness. Nice. But it's just so funny because Headless is like, I'm not putting up a picture for that show. He's like, I put everything else.
You know what it is.
Yeah, he does not care for that show.
Just get a picture. What's her face from
Sarah Jessica Parker?
No.
Kim Cattrall?
Yes.
Okay.
From Big Trouble in Little China.
Okay. Fair enough. Anyways, yeah. And we all know, like, I mean, did you ever watch that show?
No.
I don't know. We and I remember like right after we graduated. Well, I graduated. You almost were there.
I took the Chris Farley plan. Thank you very much.
Hey, you graduated a semester after I did. It was good. I wasn't sure it was ever going to happen. No, it was December.
No, I walked the stage a semester after you graduated. Then I actually finished the degree 2 years later.
Never mind. Anyways, yeah. You're like, and I remember you sent me the picture. You're like, just so you can see I was actually here.
Yeah.
I remember that. But anyways, I remember when I like moved back that I just decided I would binge watch like the entire series and, you know, go to like Hastings and get all the DVDs and stuff. But it's so good. And yeah, I mean,
is it
what you think it is?
Comedy? I mean, I know it's just
it's comedy drama.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of like human pieces to this thing, but there's a lot of humor, but there's a lot of like, what's the word? Non-child appropriate type
mature content
things. Yes, that's good. No, non-child material type thing. Yes. Anyways, yes, mature content. It's fun and it's easy to watch for me because I've seen it 1,000 times. And then, you know, you move on to the movies. Well, I like just the first one because the second one was an absolute dumpster fire. And I couldn't believe that that's how they ended the series. Like it kind of ties things up, but it did it in a very messy and uncivilized kind of way. And I was like, really? Like that's how you want the whole like series to, you know, end on? But anyways, the first movie was great. Second movie was trash.
How far apart are the two movies year-wise?
They are very close together as far as like timeline. They're pretty close together. It would like maybe within like a year or two, like if that. So
I wonder if it was a writer change or. So
I'm gonna have to look into that because it was. Meh. Anyway,
that's the interesting thing of when you have a movie come in and wrap up things. I mean, I've seen that with Firefly, but it did it quite nicely. Sad in a way, in multiple ways. Yeah, but I'll have to revisit
because I remember that was like this little thing where we went to. There's a fondue place in town, and they were having this like girls' night out special where it was me and my Rizzo. We went for the second movie. And it was like, you know, Cosmos and fondue. And then you got a ticket to the show. And like the music was really, really good. I was all excited about it. And then you kind of get into it and you're like, really? Like, okay. So
that's not what I wanted.
No, not so much, guys. Anyways, I'm sorry. I wasn't like trying to talk about that to be gross, but you know.
No. Well, speaking of high society, have you completed the Schitt's Creek?
No, but oh my gosh. We just started season 6. You finished it, didn't you?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I just want to like watch it a lot and just get through it because I want to start it over again.
We may have to rewatch it because it's mindless. Especially it's weird because you have to, when you tell people about it, you really have to give it 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Because it is very, at first you're like, why do I care about these people? And then they meet
kind of douchey. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they meet the small town people are like, why do I
care about these small town people? Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. These are all morons. Mm-hmm. But then you get further in and like, okay, this is pretty good.
The show has heart. The show has like it. Oh my gosh. It's so funny. Yeah. And then David and Patrick just got engaged. And I loved that it was like the 4 rings like he has on the one hand. It was so cute. And then that was so sweet. And then let's see. Oh, and then I don't know. We're a couple episodes, I think, into the 6th season because then Alexis realized she transposed the numbers on the ticket. So she's not like going with Ted yet. Well, I mean, we'll see how it actually happens. But but it's just because they've grown up and they've lived and they've learned, I think. And their characters are just so completely different than where they were at the start of the show. Yeah. And I love that because it's just very clear and like wonderful character development, but it's still funny, and I keep saying it has heart because it does. And I just, oh my gosh. And Moira is I just like, I am Moira without the wigs.
Who's I just went, not Stony. Stevie. I love Stevie.
And now I want to watch Encino Man because there is a character named Stony in that one.
Is it Pauly Shore?
Yeah, that's Pauly Shore.
Okay.
Have I told you my Pauly Shore story?
No.
Okay, that'll be for like next episode or something. Sometime.
We'll get the douche meter ready.
No. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Do you have the douche meter still? Headless. You got it up there.
I did hear Pauly Shore.
Oh, he says,
okay.
Okay.
We'll prep for it.
Okay.
He was on an episode of Doug Loves Movies a while back. I was like, yeah, Pauly Shore. Rock on, man. So,
you haven't been relevant in 20 years. Oh my gosh. I loved Son-in-Law too. That was really cute. Anyways. Good. Okay. So yeah. So never have I ever. So what is Drain the Oceans? Drain the Oceans.
This is a National Geographic show. It's I found it on Disney Plus. It is I really like archaeology stuff. I also really like water stuff. In an alternate universe, I took a very different path.
Were you shocked Cousteau or what?
Stuff like that. I've always been fascinated. It was probably because of the Indiana Jones movies, and also I read a young adult Christian-based series when I was a kid that was about an archaeologist.
Okay.
And so I really just like archaeology, and I kind of, for a little bit when I was younger, thought about going into the field, but I thought, what are we going to find these days? And since then, they found a whole bunch of shit. But
a bunch of things you could have found, Ryan. God.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
But Drain the Oceans is, okay, I mean, and they start the premise off every single time, like using modern technology, sonar, to where we can scan the seabeds, use these drones to go down to take pictures of it. They are basically just kind of, finding lost things that are at the bottom of the ocean.
Nice.
I actually got to introduce the wife to it, and she kind of thought it was interesting. But for instance, there is a Nazi U-boat in the Gulf of Mexico, about 50 miles south of New Orleans, I think, or so. I could be off a little bit.
Okay.
But it's a mixture of
that area.
Yeah. There's a Nazi U-boat here. And then here's also the Robert E. Lee passenger ship that boat sank. And so it's a mixture of and so they say the whole Drain the Ocean is like, we've scanned the bottom of the ocean using this technology. Now using computer visualizations, we can drain the oceans. And for the first time, see it as it is now.
See it, get it?
Sorry. Everybody's doing it. See it. Yeah. But so it's just stuff like that. So in this instance of the Nazi U-boat and the Robert E. Lee, it tells the story is like, okay, the Robert E. Lee got spotted. This Nazi U-boat shot at it, sank it. But what the Nazi U-boat didn't know was that there was a patrol vehicle along with the Robert E. Lee, dropped some depth charges, couldn't confirm that the U-boat was sank, and then it went on to, try to save any survivors from the Robert E. Lee. It was believed that U-boat was sank by a Coast Guard plane, I believe it was.
Okay.
A few days later, because it spotted a U-boat surfacing, they dropped some depth charges and, confirmed it got hit. But it turns out it's like, no, this was sank by the patrol cruiser. That's what it was.
Okay.
It was actually sank by the patrol cruiser. And what's in it, it's like, okay, so what part of the U-boat's missing? Like, here it is right here. And then so many yards or miles or whatever over here is another part of it.
Did it used to be a W boat?
Haha. It was before it got the depth
I'm in rare
charge.
form today. Sorry, folks. Anyways.
It's okay.
Okay.
But it kind of covers stuff like that. And like, it also, for the particular episode, it kind of sticks to certain regions sometimes, but like, this was just the Gulf of Mexico episode. But it also covers what happened with the giant oil spill that we had back in 2010, because they describe, I forget, I even watched it last night, but that mobile unit where they were trying to cap off the oil at the bottom of the ocean, but chaos ensued and it leaked for 80 days and whatnot.
The BP spill thing?
Yes, I think that was.
Because I was like, Exxon Valdez? I was like, no, that was 90s.
The Deep Horizon mobile drilling unit.
Okay.
But they're like, they've been doing offshore drilling for forever. This thing happened, chaos ensues, and here's why. But it kind of shows like just stuff like that. And then another case from the same episode, we found this one ship from like, the 1800s, because you can still kind of map out, okay, there's the wooden mast, here's some cannons, here's some muskets.
Yeah, you know what it was because of what was on it.
And a lot of the wife asked last night, like, how do they know where these, what these things are? I'm like, well, in some cases, the shipping companies kept really good books of what went out and where.
Yeah.
But in this case of they found this one ship, and they're like, oh, this was probably a privateer ship, which is basically pirates who were sanctioned by whoever to do whatever as long as they get a cut.
Every time you say pirates, I'm going to put this up.
Pirates.
You'll see why.
To be continued.
Yes.
But by this privateer ship, they found another ship, and then they found another ship. And so they're like, this was possibly a convoy that got overtaken by a hurricane. The sad story is that one of these ships was probably carrying slaves, because it looks like it was empty. It was either an empty ship or there were perishable items in the cargo hold, which could have been slaves.
And
at that time while slavery was legal in the U.S. still, the trading of slaves was illegal at the time.
That's
but
why
New Orleans was a thing.
Yeah.
Was a place where you could still get away with that. So it's stuff like that. Another episode they talked about, there's this Roman city, which was like the Roman Las Vegas of the time, but it's now all underwater. And so they kind of look at that and scan, look, this is what this used to look like. This is probably what happened.
Oh, that guy had 21, man. He would have paid out really big. Oh,
if he had 20, you could have been millions, but no, an earthquake happened.
Anyways.
So it's stuff like that.
Can I say something real quick? It's cute whenever you get like all excited about these things, because I can tell you're into it, because you like are getting the details and everything, and you're like, and then this, and then that, and then these things.
Yeah.
And it's just cute that you like it.
It's fun. And the wife gave me a look last night, because on the Gulf of Mexico, they talk about there's this giant crater in the Gulf of Mexico. And they're like, it's the crater that scientists are assuming the one that was the comet that struck the earth that killed the dinosaurs. And they go into detail as why they believe that, because, you drain the ocean and you can see this giant bowl form that's like miles wide.
Yeah.
And then just various aspects of it. And like, okay, then they cut to a shot up in New Jersey. I'm like, okay, there's this area where we find a lot of dinosaur bones, but they stop at this one level here. And then it's like, so that's kind of our timeline. And they shoot to another spot of Mexico, and they have all these sinkholes that are connected. But they zoom out with a satellite picture, and you see like, here's all these different sinkholes. It's just a giant circle, but you take that into the ocean and like, oh, that's the crater right there. So cool little stuff like that. So drain the oceans. Horrible name, because you don't want to drain the oceans. But,
I get the idea, and you're like, what? What is drain the oceans? Yeah.
But they've got some offshoots, which I haven't watched yet. Like there's Drain Alcatraz and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to seeing those.
It'll be fun. Yeah.
Yeah. So Disney Plus, National Geographic. So
nice. All right. So let's round this out, because we've done a lot of watching, obviously.
Yep.
Cobra Kai season 3. Hey, look, there it is. Oh, look, that's cute. Cobra Kai with the like 3 eyes. The complete 3rd season. Clever. Cree showed up at the end of...
Spoiler.
No, that was like the other season, right? At the end of season 1. He's been causing havoc. And he took over Cobra Kai at the start of the season. And chaos ensued, as you like to say. There's 10 episodes, and for like 8.5 of them, it was just a giant like mess of crap of people getting the crap beat out of them and beating the crap out of people.
No one calling the fucking cops.
And I just we talked about this like pre-show, but I just told Headless like every time something would happen, I'm like, oh my gosh, like it has to get better than this, because like people are getting
I thought you learned something in the previous season about being no, you're still a dick.
Well, then like there's some people
On
that were
both
like pretty
sides.
good, and it's just like you can't like think people are switching sides and alliances are different, and like people are people are learning and growing up and like trying to figure things out, but then like as they're doing that, people are getting like worse on another side, and there's like
Yeah,
it's like triangular, but then kind of like turns into this like isosceles triangle where like the two sides are really close and the other one is there and causing all the havoc and like going to people's houses and like breaking stuff, and oh
yeah.
my
There,
god, it's just
I won't say much about like, the big fight in the final episode of this season.
no.
I
Yeah,
literally
you
like as soon as it started, I'm like, okay, that's assault, that's breaking and entering, that's destruction of property.
yeah.
I'm like, first rule of Miyagi-Do should be call the fucking police.
I mean, I know that they have that. I know, like, I'm just like thinking from like Sam's perspective. I know she wants to like prove she's not scared, and she wants to prove that she can like do it, which I mean,
Yeah,
like depending upon how the things went, but I just
yeah.
feel like
My
there's
gripe
there's
about
a
the
lot of
show,
there's a lot of destruction, that's for sure.
if they had like placed this show, which that wouldn't make sense, I know, like in the time of early 1900s when police went around and you have like a bunch of this is basically gangs of New York, but in California.
In the valley, yeah,
In the
with
valley.
with karate, yeah.
Yeah, because there's so many things. I'm like, this person gets his arm broken. That should be an assault charge, even though it was a fight. So many different things, but it's entertaining.
Yeah.
But it just made me mad at so many different
That's
points. Just
yeah.
because I'm like,
Yes.
oh come on. I mean,
And
you
then
need to
like
build this world slightly more something.
I liked like the interspersement of learning about Kreese and like where he came from.
Yeah.
But also you're like, but he's still a dick.
Yeah.
Like he's the worst. Like I understand personal like life trauma. Like we get that.
Mhm.
But I mean, oh my gosh, he's such an a-hole.
Yeah. But like we were discussing earlier, Daniel and Johnny will have moments of like, I'm learning on how to be a better person. 2 scenes later, out the window. Kreese is the most consistent character.
Yeah, because he's just always an A. Yeah.
Yeah.
And well, like, because they even like team up a little bit, like for the greater good of like, trying to help Robbie or trying to help Miguel or trying to help each other to do whatever. And then, yeah, it's like the next scene, they're like, oh, I can't believe you did this. Or I can't, like,
oh, I forgot. I was going to go see my son. Instead, I went to the hospital to see my
not son.
Yeah,
my
son.
My karate son.
Yeah.
No, because remember he had to stay because the abuela wanted him to like pray and stuff. But yeah, like you get it because you need to figure out where the bigger picture is. And I know he's like trying to figure things out, whatever.
I need to go see my mijo.
So, but overall, I give it 2 enthusiastic thumbs up, and I'm ready for season 4. I like the Japanese. I like the Japan episodes. Those were great.
I'll give it 2 broken thumbs.
That's just how they always are. They're like kind of like half thumb sort of things.
Yeah, the throwback stuff to the past of how they incorporate stuff from the past. Because they bring back a lot of characters this season. Well, 4 characters this season from that we haven't seen previously.
Oh yeah. 3 in Japan and 1 on one stateside. Yeah.
Yeah, 1 in the valley, which was great. But again, it's just the whole like, if you're going to teach a character something, would you at least apply that? Because the only one who's done that is Miguel. And then he paid the price for it, which didn't make sense. But like, it's like at least he'll learn from something.
Yeah.
And
I'd argue to say that Johnny did too. He was just really messed up with like all the things that he had to deal with in that season.
Yeah. So hopefully season 4 is like when rationale kicks in.
Yeah. Well,
when LaRusso installs security cameras around everywhere so he can like just send it to the police. I mean, a freaking Ring doorbell would solve a lot of issues here.
That's true. Yeah. Hey, you have a cat. Sam's like, we don't have a cat.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
That was the,
no.
Okay, that's assault. That's destruction of property and breaking and entering within 10 seconds.
Also, I want to know, I want to know what happened to that money from the car wash. I'd like to know what happened to the money. We know what happened to the poor kid that was trying to get the money, but anyway.
Yeah, they really need to put a disclaimer up of like, do not act like this. Learn karate for self-defense, because and to be healthy. But if you see something, call the police.
Adults / children alike.
Yeah. Or if you need to defend yourself or someone else, tell someone else, here's my phone, call the police, and then go step.
I will say though that I was glad that towards the end of the last episode when Daniel showed up, that was a little bit of a relief for me.
That was great. I was fine with that. That scene.
Yeah.
The sensei off. We'll just call it the sensei off.
Yeah.
I dug it.
Yeah.
That was good. I was like, all right, I'm fine with this one. But
you're like,
yeah.
Okay. That's better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, we could just like beat this dead horse a lot, but let's.
And again, it's one of those like it was an entertaining season, but just like what the fuck, man.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of where you've seen people before, we Headless and I always have like a show we're watching, and then like something we're binging for the most part, and then we'll have like a fall asleep show. And so our one we were binging was Cobra Kai. Then our like show we're watching is Schitt's Creek. And then our fall asleep show is Big Bang Theory. And we were watching an episode and it was Sheldon's sister, Missy. And I looked at my glasses were off. I was like half asleep and I'm like listening to her and I was like, is that Daniel's wife in Cobra Kai? It was. Yeah. I was like, I recognize that voice. So anyways, yeah.
Nice.
There you go. Yeah.
All right. So that's enough about a TV show based off movies.
Oh my gosh. I know, right? That was a lot. That was a lot of stuff, dude.
So what do we call? So
I have it. Rizzo's movie must-haves. I don't know. It's a work and name in progress. If anybody has an idea, email.
Basically, today we're going to talk about thriller genres. And
do you want to read the genre? Yeah, because we basically like found this little movie genre like picking website thing, and it was a little wheel. And it spun to thrillers, and that's where we're starting, just so we can talk through a few.
So if you go to the Wikipedia, which is the source of all knowledge,
yes,
a thriller is a genre of fiction having numerous, often overlapping subgenres, which I found a lot of. Thrillers are characterized and defined by the moods they elicit, giving viewers heightened feelings of suspense, excitement, surprise, anticipation, and anxiety. Successful examples of thrillers are films about Alfred Hitchcock, is what is cited here. So we chose a few different thrillers that, not like really our top thrillers, but ones that were like, oh yeah, this one
stuck with me.
Yeah, a thriller or whatnot. So
you want to just go back and forth?
Sure.
You start.
Find one real quick.
Okay.
First one I listed, which sounds silly, is a Kevin Smith film.
Here, Headless woo in the background.
Called Red State.
That's his woo hand.
And I saw this a few years ago on Netflix. It's classified as a horror, I believe. But when I was watching, I'm like, this is really horror because I think of, creepy crawlies, a slasher, something like that. But it's, these young impressionable boys, old, we'll say college age. They're trying to get their groove on with someone via basically they answer a Craigslist for sex. And they end up getting kidnapped and held hostage by this fanatic religious group.
Oh, sweet. Ugh, gross.
Chaos ensues. Guns are fired. And there's a scene. There is a scene at the I remember watching this up at work. This is years ago.
As well, you should be. Yes, you should be watching it.
It was the night shift.
Anyways.
But there's a scene at the very end because the whole time we're like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Is there going to be a happy ending for these kids? But there's the scene at the very
guessing
end.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway.
For a religious fanatic group who was looking forward to the coming of Christ, there is a scene at the end in which that's how they defeat that group, and it's so clever. In that when that moment hit, I was like, "Holy crap! They're doing it!" But there's just a turn. So
yeah,
Red State, Kevin Smith. It's a good one.
Okay. All right.
Silly.
I'll start with mine. I'll start with Memento. That was one of those, and I remember we talked a few episodes or several episodes ago about how the first time I ever saw Memento was like the same weekend I watched Requiem for a Dream and Clockwork Orange. It was all within. That was in college with when I was dating a single guy. Yeah, I was when I was dating a single guy.
Yeah, I know.
And I just remember being like, I don't know, I was messed up for like a long time after that. But Memento stuck with me because
Memento's good.
It was so good. And like you just think about the main character and how like all the tattoos and all the things that like I'm trying to remember because he doesn't have a very good memory is like the whole point of it.
So he every
like 30 minutes or something.
30 minutes he'll forget like what happens unless he's so he leaves notes for himself as tattoos
and like the pictures and stuff and things like that, right? And
he's looking for the person who killed his wife, and you find out what led him to this point. But you're also watching the movie backwards, basically. Yeah.
Like the events, the chronological events are happening in reverse chronological order. So just so well done. And you just kind of don't know what the hell's going on until at the end you're like, oh shit. Because you kind of like you're like, oh, that makes sense. But also you feel really bad, because then he like sort of figures things out, and it's sad, but it's really, really well done. And I would go back and watch that movie endless times because it's
Nolan, I believe.
It's really, really good.
Yeah, really good.
Okay. All right, your turn.
Another one that popped out, and this was as I was searching, thrillers, and I was like, oh, this is a good one. Get Out.
Okay.
Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
It's the whole time. I mean, it deals with racial issues, which still just make me cringe that that's still a thing these days.
Yeah.
But then you find out like, oh, all these, I don't want to say a word because there's so much to it. But yeah, it's just like, you want the main characters, like you literally want him to get out of there.
Well, yeah, right.
And there's so much.
Headless, did you end up watching that? No, he has not watched it yet. Okay, all right.
Highly recommended. I think you should watch it. I mean, it's free. It is freaky.
No,
but it's
pass. Nope.
It's so good. It's
like a torture film. I don't want to watch a torture film.
No, it's not a torture film.
Like up here, like messed up stuff. I know what happens. Of course, I've already movie pooped it. I've already spoiled it. I know what happens, but I'm like, no.
It is torture, but it's
pass. Hard pass.
It's good. And then I found out that originally the ending was not going to be they had a different ending, which ended in a much worse way.
Darker way. Yes.
Much darker way, which unfortunately is a much more accurate way as well.
Probably how it could have or should have or easily would have. Yeah.
But Get Out, Jordan Peele, I'd say that's a good thriller to check out.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go all the way back to 1954.
Ooh.
And Rear Window. This was my first foray into Alfred Hitchcock, which was funny because you actually mentioned that in the genres. And it's James Stewart and Grace Kelly. And oh my gosh, have you seen this movie?
I think so.
Oh God, it's so good. Because James Stewart character, his name's Jeff in the movie. He's in a wheelchair the whole time, and he's in his apartment, and he sees what's going on, and he sees like these people like get basically like murdered and stuff. It's like, well, it's kind of like a mystery sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so I can't like talk enough about how great this movie is. And I've only seen it a handful of times, but anytime there's an opportunity to, it is just so well done. Yeah, and it says, and the basis is a wheelchair bound photographer spies on his neighbors from his apartment window and becomes convinced that one of them has committed murder. That's the premise, and it's just. I want to say greatness.
They did a remake version of that with Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, I don't know. Anyways, but you should absolutely give it a watch if you have never seen it before, because it is classic Hitchcock.
If I've seen it or if I've just seen it referred to a lot because it's Hitchcock.
Yeah, and then like Jimmy Stewart and Grace Kelly, like heyday, of their careers, and just It's just, I would say, I don't know if it is the best.
That man's getting killed in the head.
That actually sounded like Jim
it's
Mr. That was
Mr.
good.
Potter.
Good job.
Oh, let him die.
That was great. Wow, that was a really good impression. Nice.
I tried.
But I mean, like, easily one of Hitchcock's bests, in my opinion. And so it makes me want to watch it. It's so good. Anyways, okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
The Birds is good too. Birds is fun if you hate birds.
Anyways.
Next on my list
the
is
croning.
Yeah, the croning.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's Moira. Anyways.
Moira.
Okay. Yeah, she was behind it the whole time. So, okay.
Next on my list would be classified as another horror, but the first Alien, which is the first movie.
Yeah.
Because the tagline is "In space, no one can hear you scream."
Yikers.
They go investigate this planet. This dude gets this thing latched onto his face. Yeah, they try to cut it off, but its blood is acid. So they're like, well, you can't do anything. It falls off his face. They think it's all right. And then all of a sudden, this thing burst out of his chest. And now you're on a spacecraft with this weird little alien thing that's, Spaceballs made it look adorable.
Yeah, it was like Don's the top hat and a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. That Spaceball. We watched Alien recently, and both the wife and I were like, hello, my lady. Hello, my honey. As he's just gushing blood everywhere.
Yeah.
But
were they at a space diner?
No.
Okay.
Not in this case.
Okay, all right.
No, so they're back in their ship. So again, you're in space. There's nowhere to get. It takes a long time to get from place to place in space.
Right.
So you now have this weird creature crawling around your ship. You've never seen it before. You don't know what it is. And the movie plays off a lot of, you just don't see the creature a lot, but people keep dying.
That's freaky. That's creepy. Yeah. Thrilling.
Yeah. And when you get to Aliens, you see more of the creatures. There's more action. I mean, it's James Cameron. Shit blows up.
Yeah.
So, but Alien that deals with that, you don't see it. And that's kind of the best scary movies. Yeah. The best scary movies are the ones where you don't see it. I remember watching, this is not on my list, but the House on Haunted Hill, it's had 1,000 different versions of it. But the one that came out in the later 90s, I was at the theater. I'm like, this is kind of creepy. I mean, I'm one of two people in the theater watching this movie.
Yeah.
And the whole time you don't see the scary. It just like stuff just happened. This person all of a sudden has been dismembered. But at the end of the film, you see the evil. And it looks like a giant dirt cloud. You're like, okay, I'm not scared anymore.
Yeah.
It took away the thrill of it. So yeah, Alien, you don't see it, and in space, no one can hear you scream.
Yikes. Okay. So one I kind of pulled in at the 11th hour is Broken Arrow. And that's why. Don't laugh. Don't laugh.
No, I'm curious to see.
So this was
I don't like how John was treated.
He deserved it. Anyways.
He did.
Okay, so it was like 96, and this was in his like mid 90s heyday, like when he kind of got resurrected as an actor.
Also with Christian Slater.
Yes. And of course, this was like the first movie where I saw John, who I love John, as a bad guy. And I was like, what? Oh no. And they're on this like train, basically, this like cargo train for the vast majority of the film, like 95% of it. And he's trying to like just destroy humanity from this train. And Christian Slater is there to stop it. And it's like fun thrillery, I guess, in my mind.
It's
because
an action thriller. Yeah,
I didn't mind John getting blown up at the end of it. Spoiler, sorry. The big old rocket he was going to use to like blow up everything, blew him up instead. And so,
but not nuking, but blowing.
Oh, just like a whatever,
fun
weapon
flick.
type thing.
If you want some good 90s action,
yes.
Christian Slater, John Travolta fun. I forget who the girl is. She's been in.
I don't remember. I have to look at it, but because I honestly haven't seen that movie in a long time. But all these ones that I'm thinking about, it like makes me want to
I think
watch them again.
we've got a former football player who's turned commentator in it. Howie something. A lot of people.
Long.
Howie Long, yeah. Great line from the movie, which is John Travolta. Would you please quit firing your gun towards the nuclear weapon? Paraphrase.
Oh yeah, Samantha. Oh yeah, Samantha Mathis. Yeah.
Okay, I was like, I know it's someone.
Yep. See, I'm like, you know, but more than I do on this.
I've seen that movie a lot. I mean,
that's right, because he used to be a fighter pilot. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. John Travolta, Christian Slater are pilots for stealth bomber. John Travolta decides I'm going to, and you'll figure out in the movie, I'm going to take these nuclear missiles and make some money.
Yeah.
And also
blow up
very
stuff.
similar, in a way, kind of very similar to the movie The Rock, as far as like, I'm military. I don't like what's going on.
Like stare at him in the picture.
Action, chaos ensues.
He's so cute. Anyways, and my fourth and fifth are tied together. So if you want to just do yours, your last two, and then I'll do mine. It's fine.
Mine are not tied together whatsoever, other than they have the girl in both names.
Okay, that's fine.
So my next one on the list is Gone Girl.
I hear that was creepy.
Rosamund Pike, Ben Affleck, many other people. Yeah. I remember the wife bringing this one home, and after the movie, Neil Patrick Harris is in it as well. After the movie ended, I looked at the wife and said, "You can no longer pick the movies we want." My anxiety.
You are banned? Yeah.
Yeah. And I've allowed her to pick movies. But my anxiety went through the roof watching this film. And
why is that?
It's just because there's so much. I mean, I'm trying to think. The premise is Ben Affleck's wife, Rosamund Pike, is dead. And so, but
yeah,
basically she set him up. But
what?
You kind of figure out.
Spoiler. Yeah.
She's disappeared. So there's just like, they're all looking for her. There's a Nancy Grace type character in this movie. So you just know you're going to be cringing the whole time that person's on camera. And they're all just constantly accusing Ben Affleck, who's like, I didn't do anything. He's not the best husband in the world, but he
also is not a murderer. Yeah. Right.
And then you shoot to the stuff that Rosamund Pike is doing.
And you're like, holy crap.
And so just the whole time I'm like, would someone call someone or something? And yeah, there's no happy ending to it. It ends on a very disturbing note.
Yeah.
But yeah, it
says a tale of marriage gone cold and a sociopath who will stop at nothing to get revenge. That's all it says. It's not like who's a sociopath, what they're doing, but there you go.
It's like, yeah, there's no good people in this. I mean, between the husband and wife, but the husband, I would think was a slightly better person, but at the same time, he's an idiot and not. So the whole time I was just like, no, stop it. So yeah, Gone Girl.
But really good.
Yeah, if you want a good thriller and edge of your seat, Gone Girl. Okay. The Woman on the Train, same author, I believe, because Gone Girl is based off a book.
Yeah.
And the girl on the train, it's either Woman on the Train or Girl on the Train. Same author, and again, kind of has that similar aspect of this movie, but also what you were talking about with the Jimmy Stewart film.
Gillian Flynn.
Okay.
Who wrote the book. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I remember Gone Girl. And then I'll jump to my next one, which is with Morgan Freeman, Ashley Judd, Kiss the Girls.
Oh yeah, that's the sequel to what? What's that sequel to? I can't remember.
I don't know if it's a sequel. I think it's along the same. It's like a similar thing. It's same author wrote a book just.
Okay.
Along the what is it? Bone Collector? Maybe?
Yeah.
Is it Bone Collector?
Okay. Yeah, that sounds right.
But Ashley Judd is kidnapped, but she's escaped. Morgan Freeman but other women have been kidnapped as well. Morgan Freeman's the detective coming in.
Along Came a Spider. That's what it is. Okay.
Is that one? Is that who's
That's
in that
sequel.
one?
That's Morgan Freeman and Angelina Jolie.
Okay.
Got it. Anyways.
There's another one that's got.
There's also Alex Cross.
And
Bone Collector. Yeah.
Yeah, Bone. That's Angelina Jolie and Denzel Washington, right?
Okay. Yeah. This one's definitely Morgan Freeman. Along Came the Spider. So maybe it's like okay. Anyways.
Yeah, Kiss the Girls. I mean, it's just the cringe of like Ashley Judd having to relive being kidnapped in an effort to kind of find the other girls that she heard because she would talk to them through the walls and like, we're going to get out of here and whatnot. But just on the edge because you don't know who the person is. And then you kind of find out like, oh crap, it's someone who's been behind this the whole time. But yeah, good one to watch around Halloween. If this is a crime thriller, because as we talked about, the thrillers can have multiple genres. This is definitely a crime mystery thriller. So
got it. Yeah,
really well done.
Tony Goldwyn, he's been in everything, and Carrie Elways is in it too. So I mean, it's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just disturbing.
So okay, I'm doubling up on my 4 and 5 because why not? And these are actually both considered thriller horror type movies. But the first one is a little movie called Silence of the Lambs.
Clarice.
Came out in 1991, which we'll be talking about that later in the show. And then there's a sequel that's actually a prequel called Red Dragon.
I don't know if I ever saw Red Dragon. I know.
Ryan,
I don't know if I have.
Go watch
I've seen Hannibal, which is the prequel.
Oh my gosh, you have got to go see Red Dragon. I cannot believe I've seen something like that you have not seen. So I remember watching Silence of the Lambs for the first time, like full well knowing exactly what's happening in it. And that movie just stuck with me because it was so well done and it was scary as crap. I mean, like besides the, face eating and the whatever else, like cannibalism side of things, which of course Hannibal Lecter is a cannibal. Yeah. He's also a genius and he's trying to help Clarice Starling figure out these, Buffalo Bill murder things or whatever is going on, kidnappings and whatnots. And it's just like, again, I'm like talking about it makes me want to watch, but it's so like the blanky up to the eyeballs thing because it's so creepy, but it's just such a good movie. And then Red Dragon is like the prequel to it. And it's same idea. It's Hannibal doing his thing and kind of like.
Is Hannibal in prison as a consultant, right? Consultant.
That's Silence of the Lambs. This is him before. He's not. Yeah, he was out doing.
Red Dragon, he is out doing his thing. Okay.
Yes. And by doing
I saw the sequel to Silence of the Lambs, which I forget. But.
And let's see. Yeah, it just says retired. Yeah. I guess he is still imprisoned. Okay, sorry. So it says a retired FBI agent with psychological gifts is assigned to help track down the Tooth Fairy, a mysterious serial killer. Aiding him is the imprisoned forensic psychiatrist, Dr. Hannibal Lecter. So yeah, it came out in 2002, and I remember seeing this. Yeah, so this is Edward Norton is trying to get Anthony Hopkins to help find Ray Fiennes. Yeah.
Okay.
Which he's so good in this movie.
I have the book of Red Dragon somewhere, but I'm like, I remember this somehow.
And it says the novel was previously adapted into the film The Manhunter. So if that sounds familiar to you. But yeah, Red Dragon was really, really good. And I remember seeing this movie in a very specific, this is what I told you. I said I need to go look at my pictures because you remember, of course, Vinny the mullet. Of course, you remember Vinny. That was like the one time he and I kind of like hung out together, sort of. And he's like, well, let's just go have lunch and let's go watch Red Dragon. And I was like, oh, I love Silence of the Lambs. Like, it's fine. But this is, not in the like confines of my house. This is like in a movie theater. And of course, I'm like freaking out. But also, this is a very interesting fact.
For record, for those listening, if you've seen the movie Punisher with Thomas Jane, Rizzo freaked out during that as well.
Did I? I don't even remember. Anyways, I was a little softer back then. Let me say. Oh, yeah. Well, that's gross. Like, you don't want to be stabbed through the like bottom of the chin. Come on, man. Yeah. But anyway, so Vinny and I went to go have lunch and go watch this movie. And we actually, I don't remember how we even stumbled upon it, but the Mutt Cuts van from Dumb and Dumber, like the legit actually one that was in the movie, was in Amarillo, and we just happened upon it. And so the day that I freaked out in the movie theater watching Red Dragon, of course, he's like trying to watch the movie, being like, dude, like chill, like trying to have a nice time with me. And I was like, not having it because it was horrible. I was like, scary. I do remember Hannibal, like having
Hannibal's the sequel to Silence of the Lambs with Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
And then I haven't seen Red Dragon. I've seen Hannibal Rising, which is like the rise of Hannibal, but Anthony Hopkins isn't in that.
There's this one scene where Hannibal is talking to you, and I want to say it's Bryan Cranston actually, and he basically has like opened up his skull, and he's like eating parts of his brains.
Ray Liotta.
Thank you, yeah, Ray Liotta, yeah, and he's still talking. He's just like chatting with him, and he's just like eating the parts of the brains that don't have to do with like the stuff. Yeah,
yeah,
very weird. Anyways,
a lot of skin eating in that one.
So yeah, it was good, scary. And thrilling. And then I saw the Mutt-Cuts fan. I'll have to find that picture for you, but it's just sort of
that sort of stuff helps. Like you mentioned earlier,
yes,
the heroin movie, Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah, I did a lot of movie watching in college, kids.
I watched that one, and this is when I was staying at my grandma's house.
The heroin movie.
The heroin movie. I remember watching Requiem for a Dream, and just afterward being like, I feel empty on the inside. 2 hours later, I went to a puppet show that my nieces and nephew were doing. So,
you told me about you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Like, okay, I feel normal now, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So,
all right. On that lovely and fun heroin movie note, that's a lot of stuff. Let's take a quick break for our friends and folks over at Anchor, and then we'll pop back with Sweatpants and Superheroes.
And we're back.
Cool. All right. Now that we've talked about all the thrilling, scary type things, let's talk about some cool people that do good things for society. Sort of.
So yeah, this Sweatpants Superheroes, I'm just going to kind of cover. I mentioned this a while back, but I think it's when we were talking about the death of Superman.
Okay.
And we were,
Spoiler.
Without being able to point at stuff, we were talking about, okay, it's that character. Is that Robin? No, that's Nightwing. He used to be Robin. Which
the funeral one. I'm like, what is that? And you're like,
that's
yeah.
So that's so and so. Right. So I'm calling this one Meet Robin. And I'm maybe inaccurate on a few things. So DC fan folks, I apologize if I get any of this wrong. Two of these characters I'd never heard of until I was kind of looking up the information. So
okay, learn me some Robin stuff.
The first incarnation of Robin is Dick Grayson, which a lot of people know. He was in the Batman and Robin movie with first off with Val Kilmer,
Chris O'Donnell.
Yep.
Yeah.
In reprise, that's Dick Grayson. Parents killed by the mafia. He was part of the Flying Graysons and Acrobatic Act. Parents were killed by the mafia. I believe the reason was because the mafia was trying to get money out of the circus owner. Chaos ensues. Also, there's a good chance the origin story I'm citing got changed later on because that happens with comics.
Things weren't what they were thought to be.
Yeah, because there was one version of it was the Batman and the Court of Owls where, long story short, it turns out the Court of Owls were behind the death of Robin's parents because they wanted him to be a part of their court, but I'll skip over that for now. But so Dick Grayson's parents die. Bruce Wayne adopts him. He becomes his ward and eventually becomes the first Robin. Later on, he wants to step out of the shadow of the Batman, and he takes on the name of, changes his costume. He actually puts on pants, and he becomes a Nightwing.
Those thunder thighs.
Yeah.
No more of those thunder thighs.
That's how he distracted people. It's like, maybe he's probably as white as I am, and so you shine a light.
His acrobatic background, he's got them thunder thighs.
Yeah.
Muscly thighs.
Yeah, he became Nightwing, and for a while, he was actually Batman. And Damian Wayne, who I will mention later on, was his Robin. Going on to the second incarnation of Robin is Jason Todd. He's an orphan street rat. He was actually killed by the Joker. Yeah, street rat.
Anyways.
I don't buy that.
Anyways, okay.
If only
Sorry.
there was Batman. Anyway.
Back in Agrabah. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. That's a whole other Batman.
Anyways.
Yeah, he was the orphan street rat. I forget how Bruce Wayne came upon him. He probably stole something of Bruce Wayne's and that ensued. But this version of Robin was not very well liked. And so it got to a point, this is either 70s or 80s. He gets captured by the Joker, and they left the vote up to the fans, where you call this either, I think it was a 1-900 number, and you would vote, does Jason Todd die or not? And they said yes. And that's how you get this picture right here. That is after Batman found the body and is holding him. But
Sorry.
By public vote, they killed him.
Well, it says he first appeared in March of 1983. So did I. So did I, Jason Todd.
Just don't let anyone ask if you should be killed by Joker or not. Yeah. He was later resurrected by use of a Lazarus pit, which I'll cover maybe sometime. Okay. And he now goes by the Red Hood, which is, and I think in a current comic, he is Red Hood and the Outlaws. He hangs out with a few other folks. He's
Red Robin. Yum. Sorry.
Actually, Red Robin's someone else. That's coming up.
I want a burger. Let's get a burger, Headless, after the show.
Speaking of Red Robin, that takes us to the third incarnation of Tim Drake.
Okay.
Now, Tim is, I've read in multiple places, the most detective-esque of the Robins. In fact, he became Robin because he figured out Jason Todd had just died. Batman no longer had a Robin.
Okay.
And this kid's like, Batman's not acting normal. He's not Batman. He's just a little bit more cruel, a little bit evil. The DC movies with Ben Affleck, that's kind of the Batman we get, because you get a picture of the Robin suit that's got Joker stuff all over it.
Yeah.
That's Jason Todd's outfit.
Huh.
Just a little side note.
Interesting.
But, Tim Drake figures out who Batman is, confronts him. He actually figures out who Nightwing is as well. It's like, you're Bruce Wayne. You're Dick Grayson. You need my help. I will be your Robin because you need a Robin in your life to be normal. But eventually, Tim Drake, he changes his name. He, again, kind of steps out of the shadow of the bat somewhat and goes by Red Robin.
Are you serious? Oh, I was just teasing.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, my bad.
It's like you knew.
I just want a burger. That's all. I'm just hungry for a hamburger. It's fine.
I understand. Good tasty burgers and never-ending fries.
There you go. Anyways.
These various Robins, they do join up with other teams, whether it be Teen Titans or someone else. And like I mentioned, sometimes they will take a character for a cartoon and whatnot and put them with with a different group. But moving on to the fourth incarnation of Robin, who I have never heard of.
Right.
I may have read her in a comic, but never noticed it. But Stephanie Brown, formerly known as the Spoiler, who is the daughter of Clue Master, a criminal. And apparently, at some point, she became a version of Batgirl as well. Never heard of her. But again, it's one of those, she could have been in the Batgirl costume, and I thought it was Barbara Gordon just because I haven't consistently read some Batman issues back to back. So.
Oh, okay.
And so, yeah, and I think she went back. I think currently she still is the Spoiler. She goes by the Spoiler now and in the Batman universe, but if she even exists.
Hey, Ryan, it's me.
Spoiler.
I'm Stephanie Brown.
I'm Stephanie Brown, the Spoiler.
Me.
I went to the internet and read what happened before I watched the movie.
The worst character ever. My bad.
The daughter of comic book guy from The Simpsons.
And rude, moving on. That's rude.
Worst Robin ever.
Yeah. Thanks.
And the fifth and current incarnation, I believe, of Robin is Damian Wayne.
I know that last name. What is that?
Of Bruce Wayne.
Heard of that name before.
And Talia al Ghul, who is the daughter of Ra's al Ghul.
Oh, yeah.
The leader of the League of Shadows, and also one who likes to take a dip in the, I mentioned earlier, and I just went blank, Lazarus Pool.
Yeah.
because he's been around. Ra's al Ghul's been around since the 1800s.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
Does Batman know that's his son?
Batman meets Damian when he's like 10 or 11.
Okay, got it.
And then it's one of those, Talia's like, meet your son, Dark Knight. Or no, she's like, meet your son, lover. But yeah, he and Talia had this.
Talia, dang. Some sordid stuff, man.
Yeah, I've read some various things like where Talia may have drugged Batman and then they did the baby making, or they were already involved.
They did it.
But basically, Talia and Ra's al Ghul raise Damian amongst the League of Shadows. He's trained as a ninja. I mean, he's very vicious. The idea was that he would take over as Batman and inherit the Wayne Enterprise.
Yeah.
And then all the millions of dollars that Bruce Wayne has and become part of that. But he's kind of a smart aleck little schmuck, but he's really good at what he does. But he has reason to be talking S because he's can back it up with his gotcha. But
interesting.
Okay. Then some other mentions. This is from the Frank Miller graphic novel series, The Batman, The Dark Knight Returns. Carrie Kelly. She took on the mantle of Robin during that series. Later on in the series, I think it was by the third graphic novel, she actually takes up the helm of Batwoman. Just a kid, and I think she basically stumbles upon an aging Bruce Wayne who decides to come out. Bruce Wayne retired for a while. Gotham goes to hell. He comes back out and starts kicking ass. And
interesting.
Carrie Kelly helps out. The cartoon of it, which I'm losing his name, but the guy who played RoboCop in the original RoboCop movies, he voices Bruce Wayne, and he keeps telling Carrie, he's like, if you don't do what I tell you, you're fired. And just throughout the whole thing, kind of like, I care about you. I don't want you to die, but
that's his Batman way of saying it. Yeah.
Yeah. You're fired.
Yeah.
And then an honorable mention, this is another character I haven't heard of, and this may be one where I'm completely wrong, but Duke Thomas. And I'm bringing him up because in this series where they called the Future's End, which takes place in the future, it named him as a Robin. I could be completely wrong because there is a comic series called We Are Robins.
Peter Weller.
Thank you. Yeah, Peter Weller did a great job as Bruce Wayne. Is him going, if you don't do what I tell you, you're fired.
Okay. Anyway, sorry. I had to get there.
Thank you. No. But Duke Thomas, in the comic series We Are Robins, there is just kind of a gang of kids who are trying to, keep crime at a minimum. I haven't read it. This is kind of what I picked up. But I think supposedly in Future's End, he had the helm of Robin. I could be completely wrong on that one, but I want to throw him in there because, Robins.
A lot of Robins, man. That's cool.
A lot of Robins. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Got the main ones. And like I said, I'd never heard of Stephanie Brown, but it's one of those.
It's because it's me.
Yeah.
I'm not. I mean, yeah.
You've kept your identity secret this whole time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the world of Robins. Currently, Damian Wayne's the one that I know of. There's a great issue. It's Batman 666, where Bruce Wayne is dead and Damian is now Batman, but he's made a deal with the devil.
Of course he has.
And so he's got more powers, but it's a pretty cool comic.
You're supposed to say that. Episode 666, he made a deal with the devil. Then you go.
But it's cool because he's got the powers.
Exaggerate a wink. Yeah.
Yeah, he set up traps across Gotham to take out the menace. And so, that's the Robins.
Nice. And wouldn't you know, as we scooch right into the news type words, who's on deck? But good old Michael Keaton.
Fuck yeah.
Hey, look, there he is.
They were dancing the bat signal. In the pale moonlight.
Here already. Michael Keaton confirmed as main Batman in DC Universe films.
Yeah. I love Keaton. Keaton in the Spider-Man Homecoming movie was great. He was a villain. He was the Vulture. He was fantastic. He was my first Batman.
Yeah. Officially confirmed as the DCEU's main Batman going forward, replacing Ben Affleck. Both men will appear as the character in the upcoming The Flash. And
alternate universe versions.
It says, right. And then it says that he played Vulture. We just mentioned that. And he's going to be back. It says Batman Returns is two things. The title of Michael Keaton's second and final outing is Bruce Wayne. Batman also, what he'll be doing officially in the series of upcoming DC movies.
And I read on that that a lot of fans are hoping that maybe this turns into a Batman Beyond movie later on, because Batman Beyond was a cartoon that came out early thousands, and it's Bruce Wayne is aged, such as Michael Keaton has as well. And the suit he's actually wearing is he gets more power from the suit because it enhances the street. It's got jet boots on it, whatnot, but he gets to a point where I can't do this anymore. And then things ensue to where I forget his last name, but Terry, kind of a young, I would say streetwise punk, but he's not really a punk. He's just a kid, but his dad dies. A lot of that happens in comic books. And he figures out who Bruce Wayne is / Batman somehow. And then he
Robin?
He doesn't become Robin. He just takes up, in the cartoon, he basically steals the Bat costume to go after the guy that kills his dad.
Oh, okay.
And then Bruce Wayne takes up more of a mentorship of training. Bruce Wayne kind of becomes the Alfred, but a more, the sensei / Alfred hands-on type thing. So,
Batman Pennywise or Pennyworth or whatever it is. What was it? I don't remember. What was Pennyworth. Okay. I was like Pennywise. No, that's it. Anyways. So it says the movie will deal with the multiverse with Affleck as Batman in one, Keaton as Batman in the other, which potentially opens the door for Robert Pattinson's Batman as well, which I'm actually excited about too. I don't know if you're excited about him.
Yeah,
but
I am.
Yeah. So it just says,
Jeffrey Wright as Jim Gordon. It's gonna be awesome.
Yep. And it says that, the idea is that the Batman Beyond idea came up to a lot of fans, hence the Ryan thing. And it could be good to move along.
I'm just happy to see Michael Keaton.
I'm so excited. Yeah.
I need to watch Birdman, which he plays an actor who played a superhero.
Right.
Called Birdman. So I need to watch that because I'm I kind of, but again, like I said, in Homecoming, he was Spider-Man Homecoming. He was the highlight of the movie. I mean, what's his face was a great Spider-Man, but he was such a good villain.
What's his face?
Yeah. The kid who's new Spider-Man, he does really good.
Yeah. Right.
Not Tobey Maguire, but more on that in a second. So.
Yeah, we'll get there. Toby, slow your roll, dude. Look at you. It's okay.
Supposedly. So.
Yeah. Okay.
So tell me about Clarice.
Yes. So this is actually a television show. It's going to be on CBS. And there's not a whole lot that I have looked on it because I want to. This is actually, are you ready for this? I don't want to really be spoiled. I just want to know what's going on in the show. Because I really like Silence of the Lambs, and I like that sort of area of the, world of those stories. And it's just her, it's Clarice Starling. Again, this is post Silence of the Lambs, but it still kind of draws back to that a little bit.
Okay.
And I'm so excited. And it debuts February 11th. So a month from yesterday.
Who's playing Clarice?
Clarice. Yes. Let me get that. Thank you for asking.
She's been played by two characters, I believe, so far because she did not reprise her role for Hannibal, I believe.
Let's see. Hold on.
What
Sorry.
The original actress was fine.
No.
While you're looking that up, before I left the socials, I came across, I might have been a Reddit, but it was a bunch of outtakes from various movies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And one of them was, I think it was from Hannibal, but it was a
Rebecca Breeds. Sorry.
Who was it?
Rebecca Breeds.
I don't recognize that name.
Anyways,
maybe new girl.
Yeah, okay.
But the shot, it was like a upward shot of Anthony Hopkins walking. He's got blood on him and he's got a knife, but he's doing a Sylvester Stallone impersonation. And it's really good.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So February 11th, like I said, I'm trying not to get too much into it. But
Lecter.
Debuting February 11th. So I will definitely be talking about that here in a little while. I'm excited. So let's see. Oh, this is interesting. Let's see. What does it say? Oh, it says here's why CBS's Clarice television show can't mention Hannibal Lecter. So I guess they're having to work around it. You can do the visuals and stuff, but you can't actually say like the word, the name Hannibal Lecter. So it says the CBS show will actually have all the other characters mentioned in the book: Clarice Starling, Paul Krendler, and the late serial killer Buffalo Bill. Our buddy BB comes back, man. We love him around here. In a weird way, we like him around here. So
you like my new suit?
It's very moisturized because it has plenty of lotion on it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What is Calliou?
Calliou. So this is a very polarizing type cartoon show. This just says PBS cancels Calliou 2021 already looking up is the title of the thing, because you see him, right? He's like creepy and weird and everything else.
He looks like a knockoff Peanuts character.
Yeah, like Charlie Brown. Yeah. So it says PBS is canceling Calliou and parents are a mix of elated and weirdly bummed out. So the show is going bye-bye. It's been around for like decades, at least maybe 15 to 18 or 20 years. It says that yes, the scourge of many of a household with toddlers and preschoolers is finally taking his last bow. He's like super weird and super annoying. Have you ever seen Peppa Pig? No, of course you haven't.
I've heard of.
It's like
my PBS days cut off with Lamb Chop.
Okay, fair enough. That's fine. Yeah. Basically, like, it's a learning show. Like, it's supposed to be fun. I mean, a lot of kids really enjoyed this show just for its learning value. But oh my gosh, he's so I don't know. It's just it's supposed to be a learning show, right? Like you want to give it the benefit of the doubt, but he's like a little whiny, just like character, and then a lot of kids are emulating that, and it just is a obnoxious piece of crap show. But even though it's supposed to be a good learning show, so there you go.
You learn stuff, but don't act like this.
Exactly. Yeah. And he's redonkulously annoying in the show too. So everyone's happy, and there you go. A nice little bright spot of 2021, though, oddly enough, the article came out on January 5th, and then there's a couple of things that happened between then and now. So things are kind of back and forth with some whatevers, but anyways, and I want to talk quickly about another cartoon type thing that we didn't post into, show clock. But I mentioned a couple weeks back that the NFL was doing their wild card game. And I thought maybe, because my team was kind of on the cusp of maybe getting there. But as it turns out, today's game, it's, let's see, 3:30 your time, 2:30 my time.
Central.
It is, yes. And it is the NFC number 7 seed Chicago Bears, which is actually Headless's team. So they're in the playoffs, and they're playing against the number 2 seed New Orleans Saints. That is Sir Rizzo's. That's my stepmom.
Gotcha.
Yep. That's her team. So hopefully we'll get to see the Bears get Spike SpongeBob or get slimed or something.
Yeah, that's being Nickelodeon. So they're going to overlay slime and stuff like that.
And some of the people, the different fun little graphics. And some of the characters from Nickelodeon SpongeBob, for sure, I know is there. And it's just going to it should be fun. They'll just have the regular show, of course, on CBS, but on Nickelodeon and things like that, they'll have
I made a touchdown.
I'm telling you, man, if they don't play Sweet Victory, just completely wasted that opportunity. But I will be excited to. Yeah, we'll watch it for sure. Just I want to see the Nickelodeon version. The Headless's team is the Bears. He doesn't follow them super, strictly.
It's like being the Broncos.
It'll still be fun. Yeah, it'll still be fun to watch. And nice. I'm excited, and hopefully we'll see. The Saints are a really, really good team, and the Bears are, obviously, if they made the playoffs, they're pretty good too. But I'm hoping, of course, that the Bears come out on top. So we'll see. So yeah,
nice.
Okay. Let's talk
Final
about some
entertainment news.
Yeah, talk about some whiny bees.
And this is unconfirmed because you know how news can be these days. This comes from we've got this covered.com. But supposedly for Spider-Man 3, and when I say Spider-Man 3, I mean the new ones with think of his name.
Tom Holland.
Thank you. Tom Holland. He's a great Spider-Man. I just forgot.
He's really good. Yeah.
There's rumors that they're going to kind of, touch on the Spider-Verse a little bit. So that means, bring back Tobey Maguire, bring back
Kirsten Dunst.
I'm trying to think of the other Spider-Man who's British, who's a good actor. Who's also British, I should say. Because
I was all Tom Holland. Now I'm completely. Okay, let's see.
Look up The Amazing Spider-Man. That was the movie that was.
All right.
But they're talking about kind of like bringing back all these different characters from previous Spider-Man movies.
Oh, yeah. Ready?
What was his name?
Andrew Garfield. Yeah.
Thank you.
I forgot. You're welcome.
He was also a good Spider-Man. Second movie was kind of meh, but that was writing.
Yeah.
But supposedly I'll just read the quote. We've been hearing for months now that the former incubates of the spandex will be announced any day. But insider Daniel Richman is claiming that Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, is reportedly exhibiting some diva-like behavior and demanding more money and an increase in screen time, which would be presumably more than $15 million, according to this Richman character. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But when I read the story, I just kept thinking of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3 when Tobey Maguire's got the black suit and he's walking and just dancing like a schmuck down. That's all I'm picturing in my head. So,
right. Yeah, and imagine why you're not getting all that money, anyways. But I mean, he was a really good Spider-Man. Like he's the one
he also injured his back while doing the Spider-Man stuff. So I could, and who knows? I mean, if this is true, it could be like, hey, I've put in my time. I'm happy to come back, but my back hurts.
I mean, and it's good, because the world of cinema is just vastly different than it's been in the last, decades long thing. And so I think it's good for Tobey to be relevant.
Yeah.
In that universe again, regardless of how much they're paying, which I'm sure it's probably pretty good anyways, and not don't bite the hand that feeds you. But
I mean, I'm
not really Spider-Man. I'm that Robin lady, so I don't have anything to say about that.
Yeah, I mean, again, he was a great Spider-Man. I remember when that first Spider-Man came out and I was hyped. I was literally in the dorms like, I'm Spider-Man, and wedging myself in the walls where I could actually do that before I got fatter.
I think I have a picture of you and you have your old brown coat and you have a Spider-Man thing, a shirt or something under it.
I probably do.
Didn't you have? I think I have a picture of you like that.
I still have a stuffed Spider-Man that a girl gave me from from the fair because I was really into Spider-Man. I still have that in the background. So
that's nice.
Yeah.
Was she your girlfriend?
She was at the time, yes.
Oh my! Was it that blonde chick?
No.
Oh, okay. Anyways, we know who you're talking about. Crazy lady. Anyways.
No, this one wasn't crazy.
All right. Well, anyways.
She was before the crazies kicked in. So.
Yeah. I remember that span of about a year or so. And
it's not.
We're also looking at you
Sly
what?
No, not her.
The one that was at the wedding with you.
Not the plumber.
Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah. Anyways, for more of Ryan and Rizzo's inside jokes, go check out Instagram and Twitter at Ryan and Rizzo.
Or just email us because Ryan's not touching that shit anymore. So.
No, the 10-foot pole, guys. Okay, good times.
Okay, so
you can't people that are super extra. Yeah, there you go.
I've got
time for tea.
What's in that tea? I've got a little bit left in mine.
You have some tea too? Okay.
I have just a
Here,
little
I'm going to try.
bit.
Ready? What's your tea, yo? Did I do it right?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. I am a what? What's your shirt say? I am a ray of fucking sunshine. Cool. That sounds good. Okay. Look at Old Faithful came back. My OG cup. Yeah.
What's inside the OG today?
I actually saved some. I just was trying to sip my water more to make it so I didn't have to get rid of it. Yeah. So every time you've randomly mentioned pirates several times during this show.
Yeah.
And the name of my tea today is Black Pearl.
Black pearl.
It was so weird. I don't know why we do this. We always do this.
It's always good to get the black pearl.
It's so good. This is a very unique tea blend. It is a scented black tea. Does not take milk because of one of the very specific flavors in it, which is jasmine. Because you don't want to put in a milk with a scented black tea because it's not going to hold up as much as a traditional black tea, which is a little stronger. So this is a vanilla jasmine black tea. And I'd had it for a while. Of course, I ran out of it. And then I was thinking about it. I was like, I need to get more. And so I got more of it yesterday from it's not really work anymore, but kind of place day tea. And yeah, it's great. And I love it with some little bit of white sugar, trying to be careful with like my calories and my sugar intake. But
so black tea with jasmine. That's interesting.
And vanilla.
That's
vanilla, jasmine, black
very
tea.
interesting combination because jasmine, I could see that going well with a herbal tea of some sort, but with the black
or
tea,
green, be really good with green tea too. Yeah. I actually have a coconut. I have a jasmine green tea. It's called Yin Hao. Did I do that one? I might have done that one already.
Possibly.
I think I did. But you know me, I love a floral tea, and this is Black Pearl's kind of a good go-to for where I want something sweet, which it comes from the vanilla and the jasmine, and I don't have to like load up on sugar or anything like that. It's good as is. What's your tea, yo?
Mine is, I believe, Wisteria.
Wisteria white, even though it's not actually white tea.
Yeah, when I got up this morning, I was taking care of the Whiskers cat. She was out of water, and I was like, oh, I want to brew some tea for the show, but I also want to brew some for the missus. So I put on the kettle, got it going, did some stuff, and poured some Wisteria for the wife and I.
And it went weep whenever was bubbling. Yeah. And yeah, that's the Courant tea.
Courant.
And why is it Courant? The Courant. Why is it white tea? Why is it Wisteria white? Do you remember? Because it's new. It's new leaves. They're like the lighter ones of the black tea.
Okay. I was like, anyways, it's tasty.
Yeah. White. Anyways. So yeah, those are our teas. So happy.
Yay.
Good job.
Yeah, I'm trying to I do enjoy coffee, but I'm trying to not consume as much just because I tell people like coffee with me is like alcohol with Jackie Chan and Drunken Master. A little bit and you are unstoppable, too much and you're just insane. So that's
yikes.
Just sloppy and not good. So
oh my. Anyways. I wasn't sure what we were going to do if we were going to do food for thought. So I did not prepare anything today. I know we were talking about some PrEOS stuff.
Well, let's skip down to the PrEOS stuff then.
Yeah, that sounds good. But we can come up with a couple of foods for thought.
Who needs?
Yeah. Oh, I do have one food for thought, actually. I could just pop in real quick.
Okay.
So I think I mentioned to you about Just Dance.
Yes.
That was look at Headless. He's all ready to go. He's like, okay, food for thought. 2021, and Shortround and I have been. Well, I've only played twice, but there was this one. There's this one Xbox achievement, and it was do sweat mode for Just Dance 2021, and you get 300 and it's like 302 calories you burn during sweat mode, and. I remember because Shortround and I were playing and it kind of counts your calories between the two of you. And of course, there's like, no calories she's burning. And on me, I'm just like trying to whatever. Yeah, literally like 2 or 3 for her. And me, it's like, 10. And I'm like, I'm sweating, what off. And
the alcohol from last night.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just seeping out of my pores. And so, of course, I'm, probably 30 or 40 minutes into it, sweating my face off and asking Headless. I was like, can you look and see if it's supposed to be in one sitting or if it can be cumulative? And he's like, it's in one sitting. And I'm like, damn it. Because I was like, yeah, 215 calories or something into it. And I'm just like losing my mind. So it's one of two things. So Just Dance 2021 has been super fun. Like we have had a blast with it, me and Shortround, because Headless is not a dancer. So if we're going to get the achievements, it's going to have to be between me and Shortround if we can manage it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And we got the achievement. And I was a little insulted because the achievement itself was called Bye Bye Cheeseburger. But
excuse me, my cheeseburger was 600 calories.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the cheeseburgers I enjoy are much more than 302. But there's, I guess, this new thing that on Xbox where when you get the achievement points, it translates to like Microsoft points to be able to up to like 10,000. And so I was like, we need, telling Shortround, we need to get Daddy those, whatever achievements we can get and try to get him the points in whatever time. And so we did Just Dance 2021 and
nice.
I added it to my I'm doing this new thing called Noom. I'm not trying to
I've heard of it.
Plug it or anything, but I've actually felt pretty good in the last couple of days, the last few days of trying it. And whenever you do your exercise, you get extra calories to enjoy.
It's true.
Because you got to be,
When I was with runners, because my wife was with the running group, which was a mostly female. Well, it was a female running group, and I was an honorary member because I would show up from sometimes, and they'd be like, "Yeah, we're running, so we can go have cake."
Well, yeah, I mean, it makes you feel better, and I remember it added in I don't know, it was 250 calories or something that I could enjoy, and thankfully Headless has gone to the grocery store because we needed groceries really bad, and he brought back carnation and some breakfast because Shortround and I really like that for a quick breakfast if running late for school or whatever, even though school is literally in our house. Still running late, whatever. And I had a vanilla one so it was kind of like a vanilla milk, and it's perfectly hit the spot, but it was still pretty good and hit my a sweet craving. So
sweet craving.
Noom's been fun. Nice. I got gifted a Fitbit from Headless's best friend Nacho. And he was just upgrading his because it was, I
was just Nacho Libre. Nacho!
And so I kind of integrated that as well. And after I did the Just Dance, I did it for an hour and 4 minutes or something. And it was you've climbed 56 stair things and you've done 8,000 steps in the last hour. I was like, oh, good God. Hey man, I live to tell today. So either I'm going to be in good, not good shape, but I'll be in better shape than I've been in a while, or it'll be the death of me. So one of the two. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. But it's been fun. Maybe we'll talk about it this
the joy of working out is it really sucks at first.
Yeah.
Because you're just why am I doing this? But then as you get into it and continue doing it, it still does kind of suck. But you kind of I feel the benefits. When I was first, weightlifting and be I am sore. I don't want to do this anymore. But I went back and be I'm sore, but it feels good because I know what's going on.
You're actually using muscles and stuff. Yeah.
It's I can highlight things. So.
Yeah. I'm looking down at I have a pair of 3-pound weights that I remember I originally had gotten for Shortround because I was 3-pound weights, whatever. It's, but even if you're just doing these regular whatevers and it's, reps of, whatever it is, 10 or 15, you're oh my gosh, 3 pounds.
Yeah, it counts up. For boxing, I've got boxing gloves. They're 14-ounce boxing gloves. And you wouldn't think, it's just padding for my knuckles so I don't destroy my hands. But no, that 14 ounces gets a little heavy after a while when you're swinging your arms. That's so.
Right.
Yeah, any little bit helps.
All right. Okay. So there you go. Random food for thought on the fly. That was good. It worked out well. All right. Are you trivializing me?
I got some trivia for you. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right. And is there a theme?
These are all over the place. So no.
The theme is no theme. Okay. Chaos. Yes.
First one is a movie question. What was the name of the actor who played Jack Dawson in Titanic?
Ding. Who is Leo DiCaprio?
Correct. All right. Now we're going to go to some geography.
Jeez. Shortround, come here.
Which two countries share the longest or largest international border?
International border?
Yes. Hint, you're in one of them.
Well, it would probably be, okay, so it's, Russia and then Alaska. So it's North America and then Russia, but Russia's not a continent. So it's Asia, I guess? Or is that Europe?
Let me repeat the question. Which two countries share the longest or largest international border?
Russia and United States.
No.
Mexico in the United States?
Canada.
Okay, that would make sense.
Like, Russia and the U.S. don't touch.
Oh my God, yes, it does. It's Alaska. Oh yeah, no, they don't. Damn it, never mind.
Only if the Bering
Headless is laughing his ass
like...
off behind me over here because I'm a freaking idiot. And Shortround's like, Mom, you're so. She's like, okay. If you want to learn anything about geography in this house, you go to Shortround because she's like a savant when it comes to geography. It's amazing, and I'm like, I'm really good at geography. Russia,
Alaska and Russia are close, but they don't touch unless there's a natural land bridge. But I don't think that thing's popped up for a while.
Yeah, you know that ocean between them. You know that giant ocean. That's it.
Very straight, kind of cold up there.
Oh my gosh, brain! This is put Rizzo on the spot, make her sound like. I am an idiot. This is why you do this. I know.
That's why I did it. I'm doing a variety of things. Oh next off, we're going to do some biology.
Elementary geography. I don't know.
All right. So some biology here. What is your body's largest organ? What is your body's largest organ?
Your skin.
That is correct.
Skin.
Now we got some.
Put the lotion on it, okay?
Put the lotion on your largest organ.
That doesn't quite have the same ring, Buffalo Bill.
No,
sorry. Okay, anyways. Buffalo Rye.
Yeah. So, what is the shortcut for the copy function on most Windows-based computers?
Then I'm gonna literally get slapped in the back of the head by my computer husband person. Control. It's either C or V. Control C. I'll say. I don't know.
Correct.
Oh, thank God.
C for copy.
Well, I know, but like the other one's like paste and it's V or something. Okay, I was like, oh my God. Like, was that okay?
If you're on a Mac, it's Command C, Command V. Just FYI.
We don't do that around here.
No. And finally, if you ask Ryan how to do something on a computer, where will he tell you to go?
F yourself?
That's sort of close, but...
if you ask
Ryan how to do something on a computer, where will he tell you to go?
Go to the Googles? I don't know.
Actually, I was looking for the word hell.
Hell. Okay. I was close. I was closer with the first one. Okay.
It is Google. Yes. Okay, I will tell you to go Google it because that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Go F, go G, or go to H. Cool.
Yeah, okay. One of the two.
This episode of Ryan and Rizzo is brought to you by the letters F, G, and H. Thanks, Ryan. And also Canada and the United States because I'm an idiot. Cool. Yeah.
I mean, at least you knew Alaska was up there.
It's like Sesame Street for idiots.
That's how we roll.
All right, we got a Bumblebee tuna out of here, man.
Bumblebee tuna.
Oh my gosh. That was rough.
If you want to contact us, I would recommend emailing us because I will actually look at that. I'm kind of an anti-social media thing these days. So.
I like that anti-social media. It's good.
Very anti-social media.
And I'll put random memes on our Twitter and Instagram at Ryan and Rizzo. Yeah. And we'll be back next week.
Yeah. Season 2. Like, subscribe.
Ryan and Rizzo is a part of the Musing with McWillie Creative Network. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan and Rizzo. For more info about the show, go to McWillie.com/podcast.
I like to do the blah blah. McWillie.com.